This place should ring as a clarion call to thoughtful minds everywhere, ringing out the message that Colorado State is a place where people have the insight, the vision, and the passion, and especially the passion to create a brighter tomorrow. This then is our place. Thank you and Godspeed.
I attended the very first meeting that Dr. Yates had on campus on his very first day. And it was clear on that day that there was a new sheriff in town.
I think one of his greatest legacies is his insistence that we aren't going to be second best.
He came in and went, no, we are excellent.
Al's work in the legislature and with the business community and the national level, I think, is the cornerstone of how that happened.
Dr. Yates believed in CSU before the university really believed in itself.
But he also made us proud to be a CSU Ram. We say that, but we really are proud to be a CSU Ram because of Al.
In anything, he's very competitive and he's good. You want him on your team for sure.
I think Dr. Yates, Dr. Morgan, Tony, they were all perfect presidents at the right time.
He really, I think, was pivotal in revitalizing the conception of the land-grant institution in ways that included that idea of everyone has a place here.
The beginning of the transformation of CSU into a university, a whole different level of university, a university of greatness started with his vision.
And I think at the end of Al's tenure, he was definitely the president, CEO, leader of higher education in the state of Colorado.
I think Al did that is hard to overstate, is really establish that expectation of excellence. It wasn't just a university, it was a university that expected greatness in what it did.
Now is the time to dream big dreams and allow our imaginations to match our energy.
His founding legacy was preparing ourselves to be a 21st century university.
Al made the university sit down and do some very heavy thinking about who we are, what we wanted to be, how are we going to define quality.
And I think setting that level of expectation for excellence has been a foundation that I've certainly tried to build on, and that I think everybody who follows Al will have an opportunity to build on. I don't think you can overstate how important that legacy is to Colorado State.
Al Yates, how are you doing?
John.
Hi, John. Good to see you.
John, Walter Scott.
He changed the perception of CSU with regard to the land-grant mission.
Really the defining culture, the nuance of what makes CSU wonderful is that land-grant mission and the embracing of the access.
As busy as he was, he would do things that were symbolically important, but represented some of his commitments. So, for example, he attended every single one of the First Generation Award dinners for 13 years and gave great honor to those students.
People talked about it, but it was never perceived as an institutional priority, and he helped make that a priority. He helped make diversity a priority. He made excellence a priority. He made access a priority. He really helped us focus on where can we be the best.
This wouldn't have been possible without, first of all, the players, coaches, and President Yates. He's a great person for this program. Yeah! He had 1,000 other things to worry about with the university, but he did become a passionate fan and really became a friend of the football team.
He saw athletics as one of the primary marketing tools for the university. And so when he encouraged support of academics, he would also encourage support of athletics as well. And to me, that's a legacy that he left the institution.
You talk to anybody that played in the greatest era of CSU football, they'll talk about Dr. Yates. He is the founder. If this is the Founders Award, you couldn't have picked a better one. Having him in the locker room as often as he was, just to me, it just said, if this is a family, he's the patriarch.
And they had this sort of blue-collar land grant, you know, kind of attitude like, oh, y'all think you're better than us? I don't think so. Underestimate us and let's see what happens. And I believe that's why they were so successful. That comes from him.
It's all part of that big vision and strategic plan. So it's not just concentrating on one thing that might be excellence, but an overall vision of what we needed to do to be a great university.
To create an institution viewed by all as the paradigm for what a land-grant institution can and should be in this country. In the coming weeks and months,
his focus wasn't on being the leader. His focus was on the way that he could use leadership as a vehicle to transform the institution.
Why is it so important that we had a space like LDI centering Blackness, right, in its many forms at different levels? Why is that important here, to do here?
Institute is entitled the Albert C. Yates Leadership Development Institute, better known as LDI.
We would like to discuss as leaders.
I remember like when we finished LDI, they gave us a list of things that he has said. He said that every leader should be able to hear all experiences. This is the type of leader that I want to be.
Every day I think about what drives me to do what I want in this life and what drove me to take part in the Albert C. Yates Leadership Development Institute.
Over the 11 weeks time, we ended with a manifesto where they were able to share who they are and what do they believe.
I feel pure happiness and passion when I think about what I can do for myself, for my community, and for future generations. As I'm sitting here now, I'm thinking back on my leadership manifesto and how that's always something I've constantly actually gone back to and looked at, not only to empower myself, but to kind of remind myself what it means to me to be a leader.
I really have to thank you. I have to thank you for all that you do on behalf of the university and all of its people.
He came to Colorado State University with an understanding of this is what presidents do. And then over time, he learned the art of being a president.
13 years, you can do a whole lot of good.
Not only in buildings, but in attitudes and philosophies, in culture, in goals. Al's footprint and handprints are everywhere on that campus.
I get to walk into the Albert C. Yates Hall for my chemistry labs and think, wow, like this man influenced my future and basically everything I'm doing.
He's someone who has not only advanced the institution in remarkable and transformative ways, but he was as fierce an advocate of equity and access as any human being I've ever known, which at its core it is really the foundation of what land-grant universities were created to do.
And I hope that he's really proud of us, that Dr. Yates is proud of us, that when he looks at Colorado State and looks back on his time here, that I hope he smiles when he thinks about where we were, how we grew when he was here, and where we are now. He started all that.